Okay, I just did a video for my emotional oil regimen in the morning. I do that every morning. I just thought that I would also document the things I do as a mom to help me to focus and to have energy, because that's not something that I feel like I naturally have. I feel like I'm somebody that could hibernate for days and days and days and days. So one important thing is that oils can't do everything. They're not like a prescription drug you just take and then you automatically feel the effects. This is something that you need to be consistent with. If you are wondering if something is working, try using the oil for 1-2 weeks. Okay, and then stop using it and see what the next week is like. If it's the same as the weeks before, you might need to try a different oil. Okay, thank you. Herbs have different energetics. Our bodies are different, so sometimes an oil is going to work for someone that's not going to work for another person. That's why if you look up anxiety, you're going to get anywhere from lavender, ylang-ylang, lemon, I mean just all kinds of different things, but it's just because everybody's different. And I could go more into energetics, but maybe just look it up on your own so that this isn't forever long and you just want to know what the heck I use for energy. Okay, another thing to think about too is that eating right is definitely important. It gives you the foundation that your body needs to get the nutrients that it needs, and then the oils are just kind of to help boost what's already being done. Oils are not magical. I think they're magical just because I know they work for me, but they don't just magically make things work. I also have to work on my mind and make sure that, you know, I can't just allow myself to wallow and to sleep and to do, yeah, that one's broken. That's okay. That's all right. We'll just throw that one away. You can't just allow yourself to wallow and not attempt to get out of it. Oils are just going to kind of give you the strength in some cases, balance your body and your mind so that you are capable of doing it, because let's be real, sometimes anxiety and depression can be overwhelming, and honestly sometimes that's why I don't have energy. But I can't just allow myself to wallow and then use oils and think that it's magically gonna pull me out. It's not. So you have to do a little bit of it all.
Can I open?
Okay. So one of the ones I use is Focus. Now, I also have done reflexology of the feet for over 10 years. So I'm going to show you where I put it on my feet. I just choose to do that because all your nerves end in your feet. So I feel like it gives you the most benefit. It goes straight to your body. Your feet are the most porous part on your body. So if you ever have an oil and you're not quite sure how to use it or where to use it, just start with the bottom of your feet. Honestly, that's the best place. Also, for me, it's not as sensitive, so it doesn't burn as much. If I use like a hot oil, I don't have to use a carrier oil like almond or coconut. Okay, so Focus, did I already show you? If I didn't, I'm gonna do it again. Okay, Focus is one that I use, and I use this one on the bottoms of my big toe, because
Daddy,
big toe is your head. Beautiful, babe. Okay, I just put one drop and then I rub it on the two. Now, I don't like to end there. I like to do a little reflexology with it. Your pituitary gland is in here. That helps a lot with focus, with emotions, with all of it. So it's kind of tough to just tell you how to find that, but I just rub your toe. Just rub your big toe. Unless you know where that spot is on your feet. That's where I like to put the Focus. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, you get music in the background. That's the soundtrack for this, I guess. Okay, the next one's called Revitalize. Part of the reason why I feel sluggish sometimes is just because I feel like my organs aren't necessarily getting rid of toxins the way that I would want them to. And I also have a predisposition for diabetes. I deal with candida sometimes, so I just like to use this one, Revitalize, on, I guess the part, I'm just trying to explain this in layman's terms, so between the ball of your foot and your heel, anywhere in that space. Okay, that's where your organs are. So I just like to do 1 drop on each side. And again, if you want me to be more specific, if you're familiar with reflexology, just leave a comment and I'll do one that's even more in depth. But just kind of rub, moving upward, pushing down, giving it a lot of pressure. And I just like to rub that oil in. Okay, that gives your organs some rejuvenation. It also helps with the oil to just kind of pick it up too. Okay, the next one I like to use is called Energy. Imagine that. Okay, Energy I like to do on my adrenals, because a lot of people have adrenal fatigue that can make us feel sluggish. It can also lead to things that feel like, what's the name they get? Oh, fibromyalgia. I honestly actually don't believe that's even a thing. My personal opinion is that it's just your adrenals are shot because you're overstressed, overworked, and maybe you're dealing with anxiety, and all those things take a toll on your adrenals. And when you reach adrenal fatigue, they like essentially just fire and they're not working properly, and you start over feeling things. It's not that the pain is imaginary, it's very much there, but unfortunately you're feeling pain in things that you normally wouldn't feel. So when my husband was going through it, when his adrenals were shot, he was literally feeling his food digesting in his gut. So it wasn't that he was having intestinal problems. It really just came down to his adrenals. And I worked him out on his feet, worked him out with oils, and he was eventually able to overcome that, and his adrenals were able to be healthy again. But I just like to keep mine healthy so I don't get to that point. So this one's just called Energy again. On your foot, this is so awkward, but it's the best way I can do it. Okay, on your foot you have this part. I want you to do 2 fingers down, and right here you're gonna feel a knot in your foot, and it's probably gonna feel pretty tender, especially if you have adrenal fatigue. I know massage therapists, there's a lot of tension there. Some of them like to say it's because of the weight and how we hold ourselves. As a reflexologist, I would also like to add that it's because we are stressed. And okay, so I like to put 1 drop on that, and I just rub. And if you push down hard enough on that knot, you're gonna feel it's a little bit uncomfortable, like a massage, but you're doing self-care, and it's important that you do that. Okay, and then I'll do it on the other side as well. And I'll just sit and rub that. Honestly, I won't do it as long as I would normally on this video, but I just like to rub it, and you'll feel that pain shoot up, because I'll be real, none of us really do well with adrenals. Anytime I've rubbed people's feet, I don't think I've ever felt someone's adrenals that weren't tender. So that's the Energy that I like to use for that. Those are the 3 that I use for Energy. I use those with the emotional ones. I just felt like they did serve different purposes, so I wanted to put them in different videos. Sorry. And so I do all 6 of those every morning. And then I'll just throw in the last ones that I use just because they're random. Millennia is one that I like to use for, I have really bad neck pain. I get migraines from it. That's where I like to hold my stress, and I had a neck injury from snowboarding when I was in college. Busted through the discs, busted through the vertebrae, and chipped on each other, or no, vertebrae chipped through the disc, sorry, and chipped each other, so it was pretty bad. But because of it, I have some issues with alignment, and Millennia helps with alignment. So going back to where I showed in the emotional one, this bone right here follows your back, and up here is where your neck is. So I just like to put the Millennia on my neck, and then just rub that out to help with that alignment. Sorry, you're gonna hear my dog barking. And then, Kenny, zip it. Then the last one that I like to use is called Connection. I'm a spiritual person. I believe in a higher law, so I like to put this on before I pray to just kind of help me get into the mindset that I want to be in before I talk to my Heavenly Father. So those are the oils that I use for that, and hopefully it's helpful to someone.